My next guest is going to be taking on Natan Levy coming up here at UFC Vegas 24 on April 17th. It's Austin Hubbard back here on the program. Austin, how's it going, man?
It's going great. How you doing?
Doing well. You're in the truck. Where are you headed to? Going to practice? Coming back from practice? Where am I getting you right now?
Yeah. I just left a practice. Now I'm showing up to another.
Okay, good stuff. And you that shiner, for if people are wondering, was because of Corey Sandhagen, right? He wasn't mad at you. It was an accident, right?
Yeah, it was an accident. Caught me with an elbow when we were scrambling after a takedown. He kind of rolled over and it caught me right in the eye.
Yikes. Well, there you go. Seems like you got a lot of notice for this fight. When did you find out you'd be taking on Levy? When did you find out?
It was quite a bit of notice. I've known about it for probably 8 to 10 weeks range, roughly.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's good. Was this the right amount of time off in between fights?
Honestly, I thought I would have fought at least like 2 more times from my last fight. At least one, I kind of had an injury, had to have a surgery, and that set me out longer than I wanted to be. But I'm all healed. I'm cleared. I'm very excited to get back in there. I love staying busy, shooting. I always like to have as many fights as I can a year. So to be sidelined for, I think, coming on like 8-9 months roughly since my last fight, for me, that's too long. I'm really excited to get back in there.
Yeah, no, we're excited to see the fight. Before we talk about this opponent, I got to talk about your last fight quickly. I know didn't go your way in that one. What did you learn the most from that performance against Joe Selecki?
The thing I've been working on most because of that fight was just like a mental approach, a mental kind of hole that I feel like I may have had. And since that fight, I've really dove deep into, I work with a mental coach now and various things such as, listening or reading audiobooks or books and, mental training type of things. And that's been probably the biggest change for me since that last fight. And honestly, I feel like I'm a totally different person as far as my mindset now. And, I'm excited going forward. Yeah. Excited to test it out, so to speak.
Yeah, that's great. You're taking on Natan Levy, of course, we know from Contender Series. What do you know about him? How do you feel like you match up against him here?
He's 6-0, so undefeated, which is always for me. I kind of like fighting undefeated people and giving them that first out.
Went well for you in LFA, right? When you fought Mata, right? Yeah. He was undefeated, I think, at the time. So.
Yeah, and believe it or not, I believe I'm undefeated against undefeated fighters so far.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So, that little extra oomph, little extra motivation. So to give, you don't forget that first loss. I can remember my first loss, and I feel like everyone remembers their first loss pretty well. So, yeah, I'm excited. I feel like I match up pretty well. I know he's a karate black belt. I think he's also, people have been saying he's a grappler, but I don't know. I like the matchup. I feel pretty confident in all areas, and I'm excited for the challenge, that's for sure.
How much do you feel like experience will play into this? You got 17 fights. He's only got 6. You fought in LFA, like I said, and this is something we talked about even when you got in the UFC, is that you had tough competition leading into the UFC. So how much is that going to play a role in this fight, in your opinion?
I think it's huge, honestly, especially as, I get a little older with each year that passes. That experience, you learn more. You apply what you learn, and, L's suck, but those are also great learning lessons. And, I have 5 of them now, so that's each one's a learning lesson. I faced a lot of, high-level competition even before getting in the UFC. Not to knock Natan or Nathan, however you pronounce it. I just feel like my experience and the opponents I've faced is much higher than the opponents and experience he's faced. He's a skilled fighter in his own right, and not taking anything from him. It's just, I believe I'm a step ahead in every aspect, and I believe my experience getting into the UFC and my experience in the UFC is going to be a big factor for this fight.
Training camp. You come from one of the best camps in the world. We talked about Corey Sandhagen. Who else are you getting to work with right now? I talked to Curtis last week. I know you don't train a ton with him anyways, but I know he's getting back in there soon. Who are you getting to work with?
Been getting a lot of rounds, Justin Gaethje, Taiwan Claxton. He's a Bellator guy.
Oh, yeah, I know Taiwan. Yeah, he's very good.
Lavelle Simpson. He is a fight actually the day after mine for Fury FC, the title fight. Just been doing a lot of extra work with Neil. I know it's not the type of style and body work or body frame as my opponent, but we've been doing a lot of drilling and things such as that. He's actually gonna be in my corner.
Nice.
He's a huge role model and mentor for me, and always helping me in all areas. So, Elevation has a huge, stable of fighters. So each and every one of them, giving me great help. Drew, before his fight, I was helping him out a lot for his camp. So Drew Dober, just name a few right there.
That's cool. How is it getting to work with Gaethje? Because one of the things I've heard from Corey and some of the other fighters there is that he's kind of like a training partner / coach. Like he's got a lot of advice to give. Do you find that as well? Has he been very influential on some of your camps?
Yeah. He's an awesome, person to have on the team. He's so down to earth. He's so helpful. And his coach also is very helpful. Trevor, he's coaching. He'll coach obviously Gaethje, but then after every round, he always comes and gives me some advice and tips and everything too, which is also very helpful. Gaethje's a very selfless, training partner. He's earned a lot of respect and fame and everything else in the UFC and things he's accomplished. Yet he will kind of mimic the style you need and help you along those type of things and everything. He's just, everyone on the team. We're just such a really, I know a lot of people probably say this about their team, but our team is really like a family, and we all really help each other quite a bit. And I'm really thankful to be, here a part of this team and to be able to train with all of these guys on here and have our coaches that I have and everything.
You mentioned Neil Magny will be in your corner. Who else will be making the trip with you on April 17th?
Cody Donovan and Vinny Lopez.
Oh, nice. I know Vinny Lopez, yeah.
Yep, Vinny and I have been working together for about 4 years now, I think, 4.5, and pretty much the same with Cody. So,
yeah, no, I bet. How do you see this fight playing out on April 17th?
I'm always looking to put on a show. I'm always looking for a finish, and I think that's what I'm feeling. With this new mindset, new approach, I'm feeling really confident in that I'm gonna be able to put things together like I haven't necessarily fully have before. So I'm thinking either second, third round finish.
Talking about Justin Gaethje, how's he doing with him not getting the title shot? I know some people felt like he should have been the one fighting instead of either Chandler or Oliveira.
Honestly, I haven't really talked to him too much about it. I'm like, man, because last I did know, I mean, he was getting ready for the fight against Chandler is what he thought,
Mm-hmm.
the negotiations and everything. And then when all of a sudden they released that he wasn't fighting Chandler and Chandler was fighting for the belt, I was like, man, what's going on? Like, I thought that was your fight. He's like, so did I. And I was like, man, it kind of like leaves you just kind of sitting for a little bit. And he's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. We just have to wait and see. And that was about the extent of that. Okay. He's training hard. He's getting ready. So we'll see. Maybe if one of them fall out and get hurt, he can step in.
I was going to say he should be the backup. If anything, I think that's a great idea for him while it sorts out, because he's high in the rankings. He shouldn't have to fight anyone else, I don't think. So we'll see.
Yeah. So he's staying ready and maybe he'll get a shot and chance just like against the Ferguson Khabib fallout. So
yep. See what happens. Austin, this was awesome. Thanks so much for the time. I know you got to get to practice. Everyone's got to check it out. UFC Vegas 24, April 17th. Anyone you want to thank? Any sponsors? Any social media you want to plug? I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, my Instagram and Twitter is Austin Hub with 2 B's 155. Just like to thank all the fans and people who support me, my coaches, teammates, everyone else, and that's about it.